Good morning, meteorologist Bob Acanfrio with today's tropical update for Sunday, July 17, 2011. Well, we have our latest Invest system out here just east of Florida, just north of the Bahamas this morning. This is Invest 98L. We are going to have the hurricane hunters taking a look at this system later this afternoon to see what we have. This was the area that I was focusing on a few days ago near the Bahamas off the Florida coast, and wouldn't you know it, here we go. We have something spinning out here. Looking at the latest visible loop this morning, you could see the apparent, and it's a broad area of circulation. This isn't as tight as it looks. Is located right in this area here to the northwest of the heaviest convection. We do have some northerly and northwesterly shear on the system currently. So in order for this system really to get going, it's going to have to tuck itself really under the deepest convection. And that still may happen. We're going to continue to watch this system. But right now, a little bit of shear, kind of a broad area of low pressure out here. And so far, it looks like the system is starting to put on the brakes. I was mentioning last night that it would start to slow its southern progress here, and it looks like that's what it's now doing. And the stall will be on here for the next 12 to 24 hours until it makes up its mind where it's going to go. And I'll show you some of those scenarios right now. But that's what we have right now on the visible. Again, a little bit of northerly, northwesterly shear. Looks like the apparent circulation center is broad circulation center is about 100, 150 miles east of Melbourne. Right in this area, right in here. Deepest convection to the south and southeast of the center. If we look at the shear here, it's not terribly favorable, but not terribly unfavorable. You're like, well, come on. It's around that 10, 15, 20 knots here of northwesterly shear. Definitely better shear as we go farther south, but this system is not going to sink any farther south than where it is now. So it's going to be a battle, and these smaller systems, yes, they're hard to forecast because the models really don't pick them up much at all, and we saw that during this week. We saw the possibility of development, but the models weren't really showing anything. But it was really in that great situation here where you knew if you're watching the tropics for a number of years, you know when this happens, there's definitely that possibility, and a lot of us forecasters saw that. So, but these small systems, hard to forecast where they might go, but also they higher shear could really destroy these systems pretty quickly. So it's going to be touch and go with this system. If it could stay farther south and kind of stall for a day or two, it has a better chance of becoming a tropical depression or possibly a tropical storm. If it starts making its move north more quickly, then this higher shear is really going to come upon it and really destroy the system. So, and again, we're not looking at a major hurricane out here, by no means. So please no need to batten down the hatches or anything. It looks like it's going to maintain a small system out here. So that's really where we're at right now. Whether it would develop, I think it needs to really sit down here for a good 24 hours for it to develop into a tropical depression or tropical storm. Looking at the latest radars, this is courtesy of Weather Underground. And you can see here's the, kind of a broad circulation center, again, east of the Cape, east of Melbourne here. Again, today we're going to see some showers moving ashore here across central Florida. The thing about this system, if we look at the Intellicast radar over here, excuse me for a second here, you can see Florida is actually in between two systems today. We have another weak low pressure system here in the panhandle here. This is along that dying front here. This may actually drag some dry air down the peninsula today, so we may see less rain chances here across Florida. So you might actually have a pretty good Sunday here. And that's the thing with this system. If it stays offshore and then moves north, Florida, you're going to get the drier end of this system, so not much rainfall for you guys here. But again, we might see some showers try to skirt on shore here across central Florida coast today. As we move towards the day. So any beach plans along the central Florida coast, you might be ducking a few showers here and there. But here we go. Here's that circulation right out here. And again, I would say the center would be right up in this area. Again, broad and still rather weak with the heaviest convection to the southeast of it. All right, model runs. Here we go. These are storm-specific model runs. Once they name and invest, investigative system. That means they're really going to take a look at this system, and then they have specific models just for this system, in case you don't know. Some people ask, what's an invest? What are you talking about? But that's what we're talking about here. So you see a lot of models definitely keep it offshore Florida and then eventually move it up to the north as that high pressure kind of loses its grip a little bit to its north. And that's definitely what we're going to be seeing. This system is not going to move into the Gulf. For all you, as we call them, the Gulf casters, they get excited to see a system in the Gulf. This isn't moving across Florida and into the Gulf, so we'll nix that part here. What I think is going to happen, slow down today. We actually could see a little drift towards the west, kind of put a little scare, not a scare into Florida, but kind of flirt with Florida a little bit, and then eventually start making a move up to the north. So it really will depend how close does it get to the coast, and this will be as far as will they get a little rain and wind along the east coast of Florida, and then eventually make its move up to the north. You know, South Carolina, North Carolina, I wouldn't get too excited because as the system moves north, shear is going to increase, so I don't expect a big system at all. Again, it'd be nice to get some rainfall into the southeast. We still are behind on our rainfall deficits in here, so could be much needed rain. But then again, it could just stay offshore. We get all the dry western end of this system, the dry air, and not much rainfall at all. So right now, again, my forecast would be a slow drift to the west eventually, maybe later today, and then a lift up to the north. Here's the GFDL, and again, really looking at it, brings it pretty close to the Florida coast here as a depression, then a tropical storm, moves it up to the north, and eventually weakens into North Carolina. So that's that look there. The HWRF model, almost the same kind of deal. Doesn't bring it as close to Florida, but again strengthens it to a weak tropical storm and then out to sea. So that's really the pattern we're probably going to be seeing with this system. A slow stall and then a move up to the, now slow drift to the west and then possibly up to the north and then northeast out to sea. If we're looking at the, this is where we're looking, if we're looking at this chart here, this is the layer mean wind analysis. This is where things are going to move. Big high, heat high here across the central United States. Another high out here in the Atlantic. Our lifting out of the trough here across the western Atlantic. So you can see it's kind of in no man's land right now as far as where it's going to move. That's why we have the stall on. This high pressure system is going to slowly lift to the north and the east, and that's going to definitely allow this system to eventually move up to the north. But right now it's kind of in no man's land where really nowhere to move right now. So the next 12 to 24 hours we'll see a stall, and then it'll finally start moving. And then again, vorticity, this is 850 vorticity. You can see it's kind of still elongated. It's still kind of attached to this frontal system, although this frontal system's starting to get diffuse and weaken. And that's what we're really going to need to get this system cranking. But you can see kind of elongated here. Here's that other little system here out in the western panhandle across southern Alabama. This will slowly move west and dissipate as well over the next couple days. And then looking at the bigger picture in the tropics, again, monsoonal trough. Again, look at this. Tried to get something in the Bay of Campeche again blow up last night. But again, that's moving onshore into Mexico, giving them more rain. Nothing else out there. We have a tropical wave here moving into the southern Windward Islands. Rain, little gusty winds. We still have that Tut feature out here bringing some higher shear, so this system will get sheared off. Again, we'll have to watch this tropical wave as it moves into the southwestern and western Caribbean for development. That's all we have for today. Might have another update maybe later tonight if our invest out off the Florida coast gets going. Have a good day.